All right, so welcome back to the WCG USA Finals right here live at the New York Comic-Con, brought to you by the Samsung Notebook Series 7 Gamer. Again, I'm Corey Dunn alongside Lord Farquaad, and we're about to get underway with the loser bracket semifinals with Band Angels facing off against Buischti. Now, let's kind of talk about what we've seen so far here throughout this tournament before we hop into this matchup. So our first matchup was between Team Curse facing off against Band Angels. In that matchup, Curse had a tough time, but they ended up coming out with that 3-2.
They did. I mean, you know, we saw them up 2-0 at first, and then Band Angels kind of came back initially with a two win streak, double win streak, and then Team Curse kind of rolled them in that last match. Had some really excellent play by Team Curse. Came out ahead that time. Again, still a very close round from those. And then Boiste faced off against War and Peace, and Boiste struggling a little bit against War and Peace. War and Peace winning 3-0. And looks like we're going to jump in battle here. Just comment on Boiste. You know, I was listening to some of the players talking in between, and Boiste, in their defense, they haven't really played many of these teams before, whereas most of these teams have played each other a lot. So Boiste is kind of, you know, the new kid on the block, so to speak, here among these teams. So they're definitely having to kind of learn the ropes, so to speak, when it comes to facing off against this level of play. Yeah,
kind of give you a quick little roster rundown. I'd like to kind of give each of these players a little bit of a notice. I mean, for Band Angels, we've got Conflict, Plated, Yankee, Bach, as well as Captain Underpants, which you had mentioned before. Is it Veld?
Veld, yeah. It's Captain No Pants.
Captain No Pants. I like either one.
You're right. Either one works. I know, right?
And then Von Tilbar.
Yeah, Von Tilbar, yeah.
I'm just going to throw this away.
Right? Yeah, right.
And then over on the other side for War and Peace, we've got Tarantula, Caesar, Tonka. I apologize, that was the previous matchup, but for Boiste, we've got Free 33, Broderick, as well as Mark HD, but we got some battling going on right now. Let's go and hop in here.
It looks like Boiste is already down a T32. That's going to be rough. It looks like this IS-3, I think that's what that is. I can't see through the smoke there. The IS-3, yep, he's going to go. I mean, looks like Band Angels also lost an IS-3, and they're pretty low on health here. They made a really hard push right off the bat there. As soon as the timer was down, they made that really hard push. We'll see if now they're kind of stuck here in the pipe, so to speak. But they're still making their shots count. You notice they're kind of turtling up here. One tank will fire and then move while he's reloading. Another tank will stop as soon as he's ready to fire, get the shot off, and then move. That way, there's constant fire down range, and you're constantly advancing.
Right, working as one unit.
Exactly. So great play by Band Angels, keeping them back there. It's going to be risky going around here. Oh, and there goes the last IS-3.
And he's down to 8% health here. They're going to go ahead and push out.
He's going to go down right there.
Going to ram him, able to take him out, not having to.
And there's only one 5100 left. And that 5100, he looks like he's not taking time with his shots. And we've seen how that can cost you. If you don't take time with your shots, that can cost you. And now they're going to come around, get some beautiful shots on him. I don't know if he's reloading yet or. No, he's not reloading yet. And I think
he's low on health too.
He is really low, and he has that. They have that other, I believe that's 1390 up right and back there, and there he goes. So quick win, 3-minute win by Band Angels. Again, it's best of 5. So
this is a tough one. I mean, if you think about it, we were talking about Boiste against War and Peace. Boiste coming into this as a number 3 seed, and they got completely steamrolled all the way through 3-0. And then if we can look at this, you go into a round like this, and you get completely taken over in that map. Like that kills your morale. I mean, at that point, you're asking yourself, what am I doing wrong? Or not what do I need to fix, but what am I doing wrong?
Right. What's wrong? Yeah. I mean, it's so hard to overcome that morale hit that you've taken now where you feel, at least I know personally, when I'm in this position, I feel like I must just not be at the same level as these guys. You know what I mean? And
that's what you have to
And again, they're the new kid on the block, so they kind of feel that already a little bit.
Yep.
And this is only a kind of reinforcing that feeling. Although, as I was talking again with some of the other teams, Band Angels and Team Curse, they're saying, and as I interviewed Pat, who was here just a moment ago with War and Peace, you can't underestimate anyone. No matter how many times you beat them, you still have to be careful.
Yep.
Because none of these players that are here are bad players.
They're here for a reason.
Exactly. So all it takes is a split second, a wrong decision, or them to make a really good decision, and all of a sudden the game reverses completely. And we've seen that happen a couple times here where we thought one team had it, and then nope, you didn't have it. So all it takes is a split second change, and the game can go the opposite way. So, we'll see what happens here. Band Angels, they're probably pretty confident right now. They're very experienced playing Boiste. They just rolled them, so that overconfidence can cost you too.
Yep. So right now it's scores 1-0 in this best of 5. And so now Buischti gets to select what map they would like to pursue here.
And it looks like they're going to go on Himmelsdorf again, which is what they chose last time, and that's the one they almost won on.
Yeah, let's go back to what happened there against War and Peace to kind of dissect exactly where their pitfall was at that point.
Yeah, so it was really beautiful play by Buischti. They sent their IS-3 line kind of up, and I believe there was a T-32 in there as well. Mm-hmm. They sent them up the 7-8 line, that alley that pretty much every player, anyone that's played tanks, are used to being on that alley. It's a very, very common alley to be on. And then they sent their 5100s up through the center, which is a little bit of an odd play, but it's really brilliant overall in the overall strategy there.
It could have worked
and
really well.
Yeah, and at first it did, because you had all of War and Peace pretty much on that corner in the alley, and now some of them are being flanked, taking a lot of damage from the 5100s. But as we were talking with Pat, they also have their 5100 down the line there, taking shots at those 5100s, able to take them out. And then I think they just didn't capitalize on the advantage when they have it. If they had rolled those other tanks on the line up, so they got all their tanks concentrating fire on the same tanks at the same time, they probably would have taken that one. But they didn't push it hard enough at the right time.
Let's see if this is going to be any different right here for Buischti. See if they can get that good start that they need.
So we'll see what Band Angels will do. Again, it looks like both teams. Okay, no, it looks like Buischti is moving out towards the west. So that's a definitely interesting tactical change there by Buischti. Tending to move much more towards the west, whereas Band Angels moving much more towards the east, towards that 7-8 line that we've been talking about.
Well, remember what I had mentioned beforehand, too, is the Band Angels, they spent their entire time watching behind them and understanding their exact playing style. They noticed that how they were clipping over the edge. They were utilizing this new terrain that's within this map. And so just understanding, observing your opponent before you have to compete against them, just knowing what they've been working on. And so it might be a little counterintuitive. They've probably already adjusted their strategy. Let's anticipate something like this. But right now, as you can see, if we look on the other side, they're playing a little bit more passive in a sense as they're holding back here.
Buischti is definitely holding back a little bit. But, I think like you're saying, Buischti kind of figured on Band Angels knowing what they were going to do, or thinking they knew, okay, that's kind of what they're running. So they've just totally changed up what they were doing. They went completely different strategy, and it's really interesting that Buischti actually brought a Tiger II, which you don't normally see in these competitive matches. That's a bit odd, but it kind of makes sense if you're going to sit him on that corner he's sitting on.
So right now, all of these tanks, I'm looking over at their screens right now for Band Angels, they are all scoped in. They're all in that first-person mode. They're focus firing. They know exactly what they're doing. They already have a plan of attack. Right. It just so happens that we haven't seen Buischti, except for one member, start to make their move over there.
It looks like we got some T1s firing at each other again. Nothing real crucial here. And the 1390 spots the T1. So, it's about now where you start to decide, all right, when should we push? What should we push? Although it looks like Buischti hasn't spotted the 1390 yet. That I think Band Angels was trying to get that 1390 over the hill and come in behind Buischti, try and kind of, wave the magician's hand, so to speak, get them to look in the wrong direction at the wrong time.
Okay. Captain No Pants is just cruising around.
Yeah, saw him doing some sliding there earlier. And again, this Tiger II, I think, it's an odd choice, but that Tiger II tends to bounce a lot of hits when he's in that position. He's hold down. The thing you got to worry about the Tiger II is he actually has a frontal transmission, so you can actually set the engine on fire while hitting him in the front.
And I think they just now spotted.
It's like another T1. They brought this Band Angels brought this 1390 over, probably to take out the light over here. That way they can move more freely on this side if they want. And they may even then take him back over, take the 1390 back over to kind of throw him off. You know, now they know, okay, the 1390, he's over on the west side. We know that. Now the 1390, and it looks like that may be exactly what he's doing. We see this 1390 going back over, probably back over to the hill. He's going to go make that push over there now that they've seen him over here. He's just trying to kind of, again, it's all that meta game, try and get them thinking that this is where I am and I'm not there. It's all about that strategy. We see, looking here at Boisti's T-34 hold down. They're playing a very defensive game. Both teams are right now, so this is kind of interesting. Kind of waiting to see. You know, I have a feeling that Band Angels is going to be the first one to make a move here. They're a pretty aggressive team, and I have a pretty good feeling that they're just waiting.
I mean, they have not moved from their position at all.
No, neither team really has. So
they look like statues over there currently. I mean, but you can tell that they're starting to get a little bit more impatient at this point because they're breaking around in third person. They're tabbing a lot, checking to see stats that they already know, and just kind of all across the board. I mean, this is where you start to get that little nervous twitch where you start to say, okay, all right, guys, we're getting a little bit. Not mentally think they're getting impatient, but they think, okay, well, we probably should start making a move here.
Yeah, and the battle's half over, so there are only 5.5 minutes left, basically. So you're going to have to start making a push, because generally, if you don't make that push by 3-minute mark, you're just not going to succeed in your push. You're not going to have time to capitalize on it. And, you know, Band Angels, again, they're up 1, so they probably want to capitalize on this.
5 minutes and 20 seconds left to play here.
Let's see, it looks like these Band Angels IS-3 is just sitting here. I mean, you gotta admit, that's pretty cool looking right there.
In fact, I admit. I'll admit it.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, if we can switch the stream view over to these IS-3s here.
Let's go and switch over here to Band Angels so you can take a look. This is
to the Band Angels camera. Looks like we're having some trouble switching over, so I guess we won't get to see how awesome.
Day.
I know. I guess we won't get to see how awesome these IS-3s look.
We'll bask in the glory.
But, there we go. All right. So there you see. I mean, that's just cool. You know. But
look at that the sight lines on all 4 of them right there. That perfect. You can see how they
all 4 have shot perfect shots. I mean,
so it's basically if a tank decides to peek over. Bye.
It's a beautiful and practical formation.
Exactly.
That's what it's there for.
Well, they've had so much time to sit there and say, well, let me make sure I'm pixel perfect. Okay, I'm going to shift up just enough.
Right, so they're just waiting for anyone to come down this line, and they're toast. But I really doubt Buischti's going to make that push down there.
I don't know if he was able to catch a glimpse of that.
It looks like it. The 1390 has been spotted up there. The question is that going to affect them? And it looks like it will. Buischti's shifting everything to the east. If we look at, there we go, at Boiste on the map, you can see Buischti is tending to shift more and more towards the east. I think they're kind of giving a feel for where Band Angels is coming from. You know, there are only 3 minutes left here. A little over, almost 4. Up. And it looks like the light. Oh, and he gets tracked. That was an unfortunate shot. You hate to waste that shot on that little guy. And now he's probably going to go down. There he goes. Oh, and it looks like the push is being made here. Buischti's Tiger 2 just got surrounded on that corner. He was alone there, so he just got surrounded. Again, we're seeing kind of Buischti's been struggling with this the whole time. Their forces were just too divided, and Band Angels has been able to keep their forces all together, and that's exactly what they're doing here. They're keeping everyone together, so even though one person's taking damage, you know, you have 4 of them dishing it out.
That's not going to be good.
Yeah, this is not look good.
Yeah, he already knows that he's kind of stuck in his tracks there.
Yeah,
quite literally.
He knows that. he knows that was over for him as soon as those guys pulled around. I mean, the game is not over still because those 5100s. They play really well. They could still bring it back, but you know what? I think this IS-3 is about to go down. He's surrounded. I don't think he even realizes there's a guy behind him.
Yeah, 2 minutes and 40 seconds left to play here within this round. Actually kind of starting to go the distance here. We're on a 10-minute round timer.
And Buischti, though, Buischti is capping. Buischti has 5100s. Just 1 for now. But I think he's going to, and they've managed to reduce the cap on him. Where is the other 5100? That's the question. Okay, he's up in the center there. I don't think they're going to have time. They had it for a second there, but then Band Angels were able to with that 1390 here, they're able to get on him. And there with the ram.
Knocked him down to 12. He's almost out of here.
Yep.
Trying to get rammed out there and taken out.
There we go. I mean, these two tanks, you know, you can never underestimate 250-100s because they have those clips. If they can clip you, nail you with that clip, and then get out of there, they can still pull it off, but it's not going to be easy. And, you know, I don't predict that will happen considering how Band Angels is likely to keep these tanks together. I mean, you notice on the map just how, as a unit, they're moving. All together, sending one around. Again, you had that one flanker, and they know that even if he's alone out there, even if he does get flanked, he's going to reduce one of them far enough down that it's not going to be a big issue.
So it's going to leave it up to Clifford and Braddock, and there for Buischti.
And they're kind of chasing this 5100 around. Oh, and they bring up the 5100. Nice play behind the IS-3. Looks like that 5100 is actually using the 90 millimeter, which is sort of an odd choice, but it makes a lot of sense. You get a higher volume of fire out. Ooh. Oh, so close. I thought for a minute they may get another IS-3 out, but I don't think they're going to do it. I think that's going to be it.
Oh, wow, look at the health on both of those.
Yeah, I think, you know what? It was just a matter of not taking their time with the shots. Those 5100s, I saw a lot of misses from those 5100s. They may have actually been able to pull it off had they not rushed their shots the way they did. I think those 5100s missed an awful lot of shots there that probably should have done damage and actually killed those guys that were really low on health.
All right, so the score 2-0 now here in favor of Band Angels here over Boiste. And you don't want to go home not winning a single map. So they're going to have to decide what exact map that they want to work with and then try to at least put up some type of contest here against the Band Angels.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I know Band Angels and Team Kirsch were talking about it earlier, and they fully expect that Buischti will not lose every game. War and Peace, I think, the same way, you know, so it's hard to say. Again, there's a lot more pressure on Buischti than they're used to here. They haven't really played at a live event before. Live events, it's a lot different. There's a lot more pressure. People are watching you now. You know, they're standing right behind you. There are cameras on you. You know, everyone's watching you on the stream, and we're talking about you. Yeah. So, you know, it's a different environment than they're used to.
Well, it's not only that. I mean, whenever you think about it, the only way that you can really be watched by someone else or be observed is through some type of stream. But here, you can actually literally first person each player in specific, watch the strategy, watch the communication. So it's about observing what your opponent is going to do. Band Angels immediately, once they realized how the flow of that the map series was going to go against War and Peace, they directly walked over there and sat right behind them and watched their play style the entire time. Yep. Again, that's where we watched there in that second map where they are already set up. We saw the 4 different tanks all set up with their sight lines. They knew exactly where they're at. They perfectly clipped over the top of that. And they set up shop there. They were there for probably about 5.5 minutes.
Yeah, at least. Yep.
Before they really decided to start to make some type of moves.
It was just a spotting war. You know, they were trying to figure out, make sure that everyone was where they thought they were. And then when they knew, they were like, all right, we're going to roll through. And they rolled around, you know, 4 tanks around that corner on 1.
Yep.
Or 5 tanks. Sorry. You know, you're just not going to be able to combat that.
So let's go ahead and so we've got this next matchup actually already starting up. So let's go ahead and hop on down here.
And it looks like Boiste has gone with Ensk again. So that's definitely interesting. We'll see what comes from that. If they're able to make good on that. All right, so let's see. We're with Band Angels here, following them. Pretty typical lineups again. Buischti with that T-34. I still think that's an odd choice. That's kind of the odd man out here. I know he gets a lot of alpha, but he's a premium tank. He's still a little bit of a liability, I think. Again, if you're going to bring one, it's definitely the T-34 is the premium you want to bring, but I'm just not sure he is worth the points there. So it looks like we're having some issues with the stream on Buischti's side. So we don't actually know where they're moving right now. Team Curse moving on the field.
So we really get the complete perspective of what's going on with Band Angels at this point.
Right.
in the whole spotting process and knowing where their opponent's at.
Yeah, so you'll notice here, we have these 2 lights on the corners, here, and here that we're talking about, and those guys are just there to spot if anything goes wrong. Otherwise, it looks like they're going to make a really heavy push right up to the cap. They may try to fast cap like Team Curse did to them the very first round today, the first match of the day.
This would be that perfect moment. I mean, we went from a matchup that almost went the distance for the entire map, and then what we could see here is a complete change of that, and just, again, it's a slap in the face. It's a shock and awe.
All right, and it looks like we do have Team Buischti's camera up, and Team Boiste just spotted the entire Band Angels line. So,
yeah, let's go and switch back over here towards the other side.
So
here with Band Angels.
And you can see they know they've been spotted now. So they're like, all right, we should probably not go sit on the cap. The cap is extremely open on this map, so you don't just want to go sit there. They've made their push. They took out the spotter, and now they're like, all right, we're going to go back, and this is a brilliant move. We're going to go back. We're going to show up someplace they don't expect us, someplace they're not ready for us.
Going down that 8 line.
And there we go. There's Team Boiste.
One spot out there.
Yeah, see this, and looking at Boiste, they may be looking to make a cap push while defending the cap. What they don't know is that almost all of Band Angels have come back to the cap, and they're not going to be able to cap out that easily. There we see all the. I mean, look at the way they roll in as a unit there.
It's very, very.
It's well coordinated.
Out,
yeah.
So you got
Team Buischti here, the 250-100s. You know, the IS3s don't want to expose themselves too much, but yeah, they're just taking so much fire. Those 5100s again.
Wow.
They're much bigger targets, even though they have theoretically better guns. You know, their guns have that clip.
Wow. 3 players at 1% at this point.
That's so rough. That guy doesn't really count. He's a one shot for anyone anyways. I'm not sure how he got to 1%. And they're with the Ram.
But there goes the other.
Both 5100s, yeah.
They're already going to be down to 3. They got the IS-3, the T-34.
And most of these guys are, you know, we have one person at 18%, but other than that, they're almost 80% or 100. So that's going to be really hard. All Band Angels has lost so far is the T1s.
Oh no.
And that's, yeah, that's exactly it. Oh no. I'm not too worried that I've lost that T1. They're going to try to get that T-34 out of the game. He has that massive gun. This guy, the 1390, is going to expend his clip, and now he's going to be reloading. Oh, he may burn down. Yep. And it looks like Von Tilburg burned down there. But that's all right. All they have left is an IS-3 and 4 against 1. That's going to be really hard to make up. So it looks like, unless a miracle happens here, it looks like Band Angels is going to take it 3-0. So, you know, I was kind of rooting for the underdog. I'm not going to lie.
I was just hoping that they would have some type of moment to shine there. I mean, their best matchup had to be on map number 2 whenever they were facing off against War and Peace. I mean, it showed like they had some type of strategy.
They know what they're doing.
They were making really good spots. I mean, the only issue is they were out in the open. I mean, they did not fall back on some of their after they make their shots, and then they started missing, and that's what it kind of came back to.
And they didn't push when they should have. You know, so I have a feeling this isn't the last we've seen of them. Now they've kind of gotten a taste, a taste of this, what it's like. You know, next time probably won't want to underestimate them when they come back. Now that they've wet their whistle, so to speak, they've gotten a taste of it. What it's like to compete.
Good game.
Sort of on a stage. Yeah, good game there.
And that's going to do it right there. So.
Band Angels moving on.
So Band Angels are awaiting for the loser between War and Peace and Team Curse. You know, both great teams. Of course, they were the ones that advanced here in this tournament. Again, it's a double elimination tournament, best of 5. And so Buischti, they worked their way through the qualifiers. They had the chance. They came in as a number 3 seed, but they're going to be sent home today.
Right. And next up, you know, we have Team Curse against War and Peace. This may be another 3-2 situation. It wouldn't surprise me if this one goes the distance as well between these two teams. I know both of them They're just dying to beat each other, but they're cautious. They know if they're not careful, they can lose very easily if they let this go.
It's going to take a moment so you can kind of get a glimpse of what the brackets look like here. Again, we saw Team Curse and Band Angels face off there, and it was a 2-0 lead in the beginning there for Curse, and then Band Angels came back, won two maps to follow that, and then the fifth one was very quick and went to Team Curse at that point. But Band Angels played extremely well in the 2 maps that they won, and also played pretty well in the first 2 maps as well.
And whoever faces Band Angels hereafter, even if Curse faces them again, they're not going to underestimate them just because they won.
No.
It's so close. Just because you rolled them 1 out of 5 games, it's still anyone's game.
And then you had Buischti face off against War and Peace, and that was a 3-0 victory there in favor of War and Peace. They had just complete control. The only difference was during that second map, and there was an opportunity for them to come up with a victory. But War and Peace, they adjusted. They took advantage of some of the slips, and then were able to pick that one up. And then Buischti got sent down to the loser bracket. And of course, that matchup that we just saw there. Band Angels had a lot of great controls. They were very methodical whenever it came through that entire game. They knew exactly what they were doing. They honestly sitting in a position for I know for a fact it was more than 5.5 minutes. I just don't know how long it was. But they were patient. They sat there. They were calm, cool, and collected. I mean, there was a point, like I had mentioned, they were sitting. I looked over at the screen. They were breaking from third person, going in and tabbing and checking. Like they're going through different things. You can see them cycling around, and so there's some impatience that was coming in, but it still did not move them from their spot.
Right, and that's so key to, when you have your battle leader, he's giving orders, and you have to be able to follow them well and know, all right, we're going to sit here however long it takes until we're moved out.
Well, it's like it's like sitting there saying you're a chess player and your pawn won't move for you. Just, Like, why won't you move?
right. So great play by Band Angels. And probably after this next match, we'll see some great play again by Band Angels. But up next, War and Peace versus Curse. And I guess we'll be back in just a few minutes with an interview from Band Angels.
They kind of get their perspective on what they think went well during that matchup. So stick around. Again, we'll have a winner's interview there with Band Angels. And again, thanks for watching here for the WCG USA National Finals right here live at the New York Comic-Con. Of course, brought to you by the Samsung Notebook Series 7 Gamer. We'll be right back.